So just like this, you don't need to filter
Okay.
or anything.
Okay. And then I saw one at the vet that was steel blue.
Like the grayish.
Steel blue.
Yeah.
I guess you could call it grayish blue, but
Right, but he shine.
it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen a dog like that.
Hey, Hawthorne.
So,
He said whatever. Let's get up over here real quick. You see that good?
so what?
I took labels off.
Oh yeah.
Locks, boy.
Real.
Never make your daughter cry. I apologize.
I am for real.
You know, they mess with me about this song my whole life.
Me too. That's what
Right. That and If You Nasty.
By Janet?
Our last name Jackson.
Oh, okay, I got that now.
reason I like it.
Oh. Too bad.
You have your first, make sure you have your guests introduce themselves. Make sure you have your guests introduce themselves. Turn the mic the other way, just like it was.
I know, but it's leaning. Just the same. Okay.
Make sure you tell people to watch your name.
Huh?
Make sure you tell people to watch your name. You gotta have your guests introduce themselves, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have her introduce themselves. And
Ready?
Go into.
You ready?
Yeah.
Shit, I never cup of coffee, dude.
Um,
I need to stop drinking this stuff.
I don't know.
I start drinking coffee.
So
I said I need to stop drinking coffee, dude.
I stopped about 4 years ago.
Alright, we're about to go ahead and go live, okay? Let the page out. I'm about to go ahead and unmute your mic.
Ever?
Chrissy,
I'm ready. Let's go.
Hold on, how you just do what? That's how that works. Can I do that with mine?
I can't move my mic.
alright,
Can I do
ready?
that with mine?
Yeah.
Really? That's how you do that? Oh shoot, we getting. Oh, Hawthorne, that's was look at that. Hold up. Let's get this right.
Alright, you guys about to go live, okay?
I am for real.
Mine is too heavy. See that? Say mine is too heavy for this.
Good morning. So
I'm gonna put it back where I had it at.
Yeah.
I want to be able to
Better.
say some peace today and kind of let y'all know some things that's going on. I actually had a conversation with a man yesterday, and I was just randomly having a conversation with people, you know how I do. And he started to tell me about how he felt about the welfare system. This is a white man. He was like, you don't, I have a problem with people staying on welfare their whole life. And y'all don't have a problem with that. And he instantly added me into this situation. I was like, okay, so go ahead and tell me how you feeling. Because obviously you believe I'm a part of whatever conspiracy is happening. You know, he was like, no, it's just like, you know, black people and Mexicans, and they have 5, 6 babies, they can get the housing free, and I'm a working man, and I'm paying child support, and they don't even tell who the child's father is. I was like, okay, so let me stop you and tell you one thing, okay? One thing is, I'm a taxpayer also. I go to work every day, okay? I pay my bills every day. So when it was down to the point where I had lost my job, I couldn't even get welfare. So you putting me in a category because of my color and not because of my status or my class. I said, for the second thing, I don't agree with people being able to stay on welfare their whole entire lives and never get a job and have a 6-bedroom house and be able to get $1,000+ in food benefits and things like that. I don't believe in that at all. I believe that working class is the class that's actually dying, okay? And that we have an issue with being able to say people are not poor enough to be able to get help. So I express that at the end of my check, okay, after I pay all my bills, no matter how much I make, and I've made over $100,000 a year, if you have a certain lifestyle and you end up going in your lifestyle ends up being, you ain't gonna have no money. I was like, it's been times I have paid all my bills and had $12 left in my pocket and had to figure out what to do with food, okay, and transportation. So that's the first conversation that we need to have with an open conversation, is that not everybody believes that we're supposed to have welfare, okay? I believe that if the government was set up the right way, we would actually have what was needed for the working class, okay? If it was set up in a way where we would be able to get 6 months of benefits at the same level of what you were getting paid, and that was a cutoff at your benefits, and you knew that, a lot of people would get on a job and go ahead and make sure things happen so they don't lose the lifestyle that they're leaving. So at the end of the conversation, I just want to say this. So he actually was like, okay, I hear what you're saying. And I was like, and you should really never lead with the fact of black people and Mexicans. That really makes you sound super racist, okay? So especially dealing in the day that we're dealing right now with Trump and how he is so open with his dislike for certain people and certain classes, we have to be able to open this dialect so the people that are interested in finding out what's going on with us and how we are able to fix it, we can be able to do so. So good morning. I told him, Mark, I hope you tuned in so you could be able to hear what I had to say, because I didn't have a problem with what he had to say. I just wanted to be able to make sure that the world knew that this is something that they were believing, that they thought was a fact, and it's not a fact. So I wanted to be able to talk to y'all real quick and tell you a little quick story about my week. You know, I do that once in a while, have something going on. I do have guests in the door, and I also have a selection of questions that I need people to call in for so they can be able to give their definition. If you don't call in to give this definition of what this is, your religion, your belief, your spirituality, there will not be a definition given. I'm not going to sit and interpret what you believe in. I want it to come from somebody that is actually doing that. So the phone number is 702-551-5261. And at this point, I would love to introduce my guests and have them introduce themselves. I have Sabir, who is a traveling Moor. Sabir. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. It's
so
all right.
Sorry.
It's improv.
I apologize. And I have Hawthorne, both coming to be able to speak on some of the subjects that we have today. I hope that you guys tune in and call in so we can be able to talk to them and kind of get them engaged and get the conversation going about these beliefs and these spirituals. So let me I'm gonna basically kick it to y'all so y'all can be able to give me more information on who you are and what you're doing, so I can be able to let the world know why I have you here.
Can I introduce my
Most
brother right here?
Most definitely.
All right, my mic is on, right? My mic sound nice.
You
Y'all kind of lost on the hip hop piece, but anywho, the mic sound nice. Look at Hawthorne. So listen, this is my brother Hawthorne James. Shout out to everybody. I'm Sabir Bey, radio personality from Philadelphia all the way to LA. Filmmaker. Also, this brother, this legend, this underrated actor, my brother Hawthorne James. Y'all know him as Big Red from 5 Heartbeats and many other movies. Dope actor, man. I mean, the brother is so dope. I called Brother Hawthorne at the last minute last night and said, brother, I'm going to do a radio show and in Vegas. Would you want to join me? He looked at, he said, in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, he said, yes, it's 10 o'clock, bro. And I'm saying I'm going to go to bed at 8 o'clock so I could get up and be here, and I ain't go to bed till 3 o'clock. But he called me. You know, when I was in the shower, he said, you didn't send the address. I said, well, I thought you was going to be asleep in my head, but he made it. You know, and it made me, yeah, you know, and it was like last minute, man. And I appreciate this brother, man. He also put me in a movie that I actually produced, and actually co-wrote almost, because he sent the script to me, called Abandon Act. And I don't know if y'all ever worked with this, been see behind the scenes with this man, but he's brilliant. The movie we did was called Abandon Act, and it was beautiful working with this brother. You know what I mean? So this man is brilliant, y'all, as far as dealing with plays, movies, and it's not just because I know this man personally. It is what it is. Go watch this man's plays. Go watch his movies. He gives his all. So I'm gonna shut up and let him talk. Go ahead, Brother Hawthorne.
Thank you very much for that introduction. It's phenomenal to be here, because it's like I'm a kid from the south side of Chicago.
South side?
Yes, sir.
Wild Hunnets?
No, not Wild Hunters. I'm 37. I'm 37.
I got people off of 77 in Saginaw.
Okay, that's our south.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, I've done, there's nothing in this industry that I haven't done. I was at one time with the highest black executives in Hollywood at one time. That was my last 9-to-5 job, as a matter of fact. But, and so I've seen it all, done it all, produced, directed, written, whether it be plays, movies, or TV. I just got back from Cleveland this week, where I directed a play for Mike Matthews. But so anyway, it's just fascinating listening to the lady over here talk about her day, because we could go on about that welfare for hours. Because if you want to know about welfare and how we got into the situation, the best movie to see ever done about it is Claudine.
Ooh.
It explains it all. But so that's when we talk about welfare, and people always want to jump up and talk about Mexicans and black people on welfare. That's untrue, because there are more white people on welfare than anybody.
More white females.
There's more social programs for white people, whether it be farmers, etc.
Yes.
So I don't want to hear that nonsense about us having all the welfare.
And it's because we don't open this conversation, and they believe anything that they hear. They don't realize that it is so much that they are unaware of, that they just take the surface of it and just believe at the beginning that this is what it is. Like, no, like truly, you sit here and you talk and you make it seem as if you're educated about the subject, and then you know nothing. You know nothing.
Intellectualism is
It's
a lost
difference.
art.
Also, there's a difference, because they call it assistance when it comes to so-called white people. Assistance. But when it's us, it's welfare.
Exactly.
So they always flip words. It's assistance with them, but welfare with us.
Yeah, it's like survival when a catastrophe happens and they go into a store and get some water. But it's looting when we go into that store.
Oh, it's
and
entourage and posse too.
Man, I was there for Katrina. You know what I mean? I saw what it
Really?
happened. Yeah, I was down there for school. I was at Southern, and we went down there to clean up. And it was like, at first they turned all the traffic around to come out of New Orleans, so even the people that were left in New Orleans, that if they had somebody coming to get them, they could not. And then at one point, the traffic was at a standstill for hours, okay?
Wow.
Where they decided that they was like, okay, well, there's nothing else we can do. We got to get the people off of the freeway because it's coming. So they literally came with the military with guns drawn to the cars on the freeway, telling people to walk to the next exit and get on the bus.
It's only one way in and one way out, right?
Well, no, it's a couple of different ways in, but you have the different parishes and stuff like that, and then you have like basically like swampland area where that's the only way they can get there, or by ferry.
Wow.
So some people, they shut the ferry down. They just had to stay. You know, you got people that live back in the swamp area. They just had to stay there. Basically, if you didn't have any money, you couldn't go anywhere. So it became a class thing, not a race thing. And then you deal with the fact of the Ninth Ward and the St. Bernard Parish is basically the same thing, except it's two different project areas. One project is a white area, which is St. Bernard, and then Ninth Ward is the black. Okay, so we go through this whole thing about like it wasn't no ships out, nothing. It wasn't no ship by the levee that they talking about. The ship crashed into the levee and it flooded the Ninth Ward. If you go back right now and you look at the Ninth Ward, they done moved all that stuff out. There's brand new stuff out there, everything, because they was able to get rid of those people. And the St. Bernard parish was the white portion. So the first thing they did when they were able to get lights on at the city hall was not to try to figure out what they was going to do about the people living in these areas that didn't have lights, they in water and everything else. First thing they put into rule was that you could not rent to anyone that was not your family member. So if you are white, you don't have too many black cousins or black aunties or grandmothers and things like that that are looking. So they basically said that we're going to keep them from being able to come back. So then they kept people out of the houses and marked on these houses, never went inside. My friend found his mother 2 years later because they would not let him in his household. In her house, under a refrigerator. He'd been looking for his mother for 2 years.
Dude. Wow.
Yeah, that's just amazing. And those rules and regulations are constant.
Yes.
They're always changing rules and regulations to fit what they want all the time, whether it be New York, whether it be New Orleans.
Everywhere.
You know, it's the strangest thing because I first time I went to New Orleans, I was doing a film with Alec Baldwin.
Right.
And so they put us up, of course, in the French Quarter, and the only black people I saw were workers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never knew anything about New Orleans. To find out that New Orleans was 80% black,
Yes.
it's just fascinating
A
to me.
super chocolate city.
No, it's us.
Because it was. They told me not to go certain places.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as soon as people tell me not to go certain places,
No, you know
go.
that's
that's why I'm going.
Go
You
get
know,
me a daiquiri.
I did the
Pull
same
up
thing
daiquiri
in
shop.
Atlantic City. But I went to a club which is about 10 minutes outside the quarter, and so I took the cab out there. He dropped me off, and I was ready to go.
Right.
And I tried to call a cab, and they said we don't pick up out there.
Uh-huh.
It's 10 minutes outside the
You
quarter.
gotta ride
It's
the
across the park.
You got to ride the trolley.
So trolley was dead. There was no trolley.
in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Woo!
So
Yes.
the only way I got back to the hotel I was staying at in the quarter because the club owner, which is a black club,
Came
knew
and
who I
brought you.
was.
And
But I had to sit and listen to him talk about how he wanted to write a script for half an hour before he would call the cab. But the only reason I got back to that quarter was
Yeah.
because he, as the club owner, was able to call the cab.
Yeah.
It's just fascinating how they do. DC, I used to love going to DC.
Love.
DC is not Chocolate City anymore.
No.
It's dead.
They moved
Harlem
everybody
is
out.
not Harlem anymore.
No, I just talked about
No.
Harlem the other day. Harlem is not Harlem. When they built that car dealer in Harlem, I said it's over. They just built the Whole Foods on 125th Street in Harlem. And I said, wait a minute, Harlem is gone now. You go there, you don't even recognize it.
No,
It's
you
not
don't.
us.
No, here we go with how these trickerations happen to us. You know, 20 years ago, you could buy a burnt-out brownstone in Harlem for
Yes.
$1.
Yes, you can.
For $1. But the trick is, you had to have enough money. You had to get the bank to give you a loan to fix it up.
Right, but the bank didn't give you
The
a loan.
bank wasn't giving black folks no loans.
So we
So
gotta
who
talk
came
about
in and got
that.
that bought that building for $1?
A white man.
White folks.
Mhm.
So they moved everybody out.
That's what they
Now
do.
you can't buy a burnt out brownstone for less than $1 million. I'm talking about burnt out one.
Yes.
Right.
And there's not that many of them left in
Right.
there. So we're talking about $3 million worth of property that black people don't own anymore.
Right. So a couple of different things that you said I want to hit on because this is happening here in Las Vegas. So one of the things that is that we don't know what's on the bills. That's my purpose of my show. Okay, I'm not really into are you a Republican, are you a Democrat, things of that nature. I need people to know what's on the bill. Okay, what's going to impact you. These people they going to come and go, but the things that they put into play as law are things that we cannot change unless we do it together. Okay, so the one of the biggest issues that we have here is that they are trying to take away the woman's maternity leave. That's question 5. Question 6 is we want to be able to go more green. Okay. Question 3 is we have a monopoly for the Nevada Energy, where it's one company and they're trying to tell us that, oh no, you don't want a second company, and they got all these different politicians telling us that we don't want a second option to have a different company come in. Question 1 is about victims' rights and you being able to know if the person that victimized you is out of jail, on bail, anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything dealing with escaped, anything like that. 2 is women's, I believe it's women's products, things like that being taxed. Now, why I say that is that some of this stuff is stuff that's really not super, super duper important, okay? the women's taxing of tampons and pads and stuff like that or whatever. Yeah, it's something that we can look into, but there's also other things they could have put on the bill. Okay, they could have put something on the bill to be able to build up the historical West Side here. They could have been able to go ahead and put into bill some more information or more payment for our schools that we have here, because they took away 55% of our education fund here. Okay, in New Orleans at that time, they had the choice. Okay, because our people, we wait to the last minute to be able to get information, and once we do, we're not at the forefront of it. We are now just picking from what they tell us. So there was a bill to have the levees raised and repaired, and they kicked that out to be able to redo the Superdome for the Saints. Now, 2 months later, Katrina hit. They were able to rebuild the stadium, and the Saints won the championship. The next following year?
The following year, right?
Yeah. So they was like, yeah, see, we did good, because we ended up repairing the Superdome where everybody was staying, instead of the fact that we could have not had no flooding at all, and the levees would have been taken care of, and nobody would have been flooded out if we would have did what we supposed to do in the first place. So we have to be on top of what's happening with us.
Yeah, it's constant. You have to be able to know, because they're thinking 10 years down the line, 30 years, 40 years down the line. We think in the next 5 minutes.
Right.
And not understanding. I tell everybody all the time, they're playing chess, you're playing checkers. You know, and you can't do it. It's like so many things that you have just said. It just brings up so many things to think about and say and do.
Right.
You know, just from the few minutes that you were speaking, from that New Orleans is just insane, because I just saw a 60 Minutes piece a couple of weeks ago where the guy from the Netherlands, they brought him over,
And he talked about
to teach them how to teach them how to do that, to fix the water situation, because they're nothing. They're in the middle of the ocean,
right?
The Netherlands is, and they don't have this kind of catastrophe. They don't have the hurricanes, etc. But they know how to maneuver the locks, etc.
Exactly.
Why is it taking this country so long? We have so much money because they don't want to.
They don't want to. They don't want to fix it. And you know what? So I'm going to bring this up, and I know this is your show, and I'm trying to be, right? Because I can go off the hinges sometimes. I was walking in a bank yesterday out here in Vegas. My brother Malcolm and I, and I don't know if you saw the video I did, and I asked the sister. They have our people out here talking about register to vote. We got out the car yesterday, and Malcolm said, "Oh, that's one of those people that's going to tell you to vote. You should go over there and ask to quote an article in the Constitution or an amendment." I said, "I'm going to do it too, because I do stuff like that." I went to her and I said, "Excuse me, I'll vote if you can quote any article in the Constitution or an amendment in the Constitution. I'll vote." You know what she said?
She don't know.
No, she said, "Thou shalt not steal." I said, "I'm not a Bible thumper, but I could have swore that's a." It was crazy to. You know what I mean? She literally said, "Thou shalt not steal." I said, "Wait a minute, that's not in the Constitution. So how could we enforce anything if we don't know the law?"
No, you can't.
No politician is going to tell you this. I'm sitting here with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration. So I'm having these documents, but it's in my head. I know what's in these documents. It's not about fixing the problem. If even when our politicians talk about voting, you don't have not one of our people having a law dictionary, a constitution, nothing. So how are we going to go vote for anything when we don't know?
Let me approach that, because I am a politician.
Okay, let's go.
So the difference is, we as a people believe that we don't have the power. Okay, we are actually more structured and more empowered than anybody else, because our dollar is the most that goes out to all the different communities instead of our own. Okay, if we decided that we were going to stop giving our money to Starbucks, McDonald's, Amazon, all these additional companies, and start working within ourselves, and I was going to talk about that also, black business versus good black business. We're going to talk about that, because some of y'all getting away with it. That's the issue that we have, is that we'll spend our money. We'll get mad at the person. Let's say that you my cousin. Okay, you come to me and say, cousin, I ain't got no money, but I need my dress twisted. You know what I'm saying? Hook me up. I got stuff going on next week.
Yeah,
stuff, whatever. Okay. I just need a hook up, and then go. I'll hook you up, You pay me maybe $10, $15 because we family and I'm doing it on a hookup. And then when you get some money, you go to the salon and go get your hair done and pay that person $40, $50. You know what I'm saying? Instead of hooking your people up, you go pay that money. Okay, same thing. We will go to a restaurant and be treated like crap to sit there. Okay, go to a restaurant, sit down. They don't want to serve you. They got a little attitude about serving you and everything else. Spend your money there, and then go to a black place, and then you in there with an attitude because we don't have red Kool-Aid. We only got purple. See, this why I don't come here. And I'm doing a yoke on you and everything else. And we don't sit together, okay? We don't push for ourselves to be together. So the issue that we have in government is that we do have a say-so. Only thing that you don't have a direct vote in is your presidential election. That's why you vote locally, to make sure that the person locally represents you. And you put them accountable, because that's why they have shorter term limits. They have 2 years. So if you are not doing what you're supposed to do in those 2 years, get the up out of here. We told you this is our agenda as a people. This is what we want moved. We want this, we want this, we want this. If you can't do that, we will find somebody that will, and we'll put that person in there. And then when that person goes to go put our president in line, then they're going to make sure that, first of all, they're going to be like, damn, I don't want to mess with them because I ain't going to have no job long if I don't do what they supposed to do. Like this Dean Heller situation, our senator right now, switched on us for this health care as soon as he got up there, and Trump was talking to him like, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, if you heard the Senator Spineless. I know y'all heard that crap somewhere on the radio or whatever, you know what I mean?
I've heard it on the television all week long. It's fascinating to hear that.
So that's what they're doing to us.
Calvinist?
No, that's the judge. Okay, and that's another thing. If we had the proper people in place, this dude would not be even being. It makes no sense that if you went for a job interview, okay, we going for a job interview, all right, and the job is child care, okay, so both of us, we going to go be a nanny, and I have a questionable thing about child abuse on my resume, okay, you the father, okay. He don't have nothing on his resume, but on my when you do my B2B, okay, my Yelp, it say that the child abused my child. It was like, it's just speculation. You go hire me anyway?
That's insanity.
Listen, but can I say something real quick? Because you said a lot.
Okay,
Number one, we got to understand what people we talking about. People is different. I'm watching the Calvinists hearing yesterday. Mm-hmm. This man brought up a lot of stuff. He made sense, but I like politicians duck and dodge a lot of things. They know how to manipulate.
Yeah.
He's been a judge for a long time. Mm-hmm. He talked about Roe versus Wade. He spoke about the I think is I'm trying to remember the other case. It's the not Hale versus Hinkle. He brought up Roe versus Wade, Brown versus Board of Education. All these cases are civil rights or discrimination cases.
That he wants to reverse.
So when we're talking about we have the power, I have not yet, honestly, never seen an Asian person talk about let's go vote. And how many Asians do we have in position? I have never seen an Italian talk about let's go vote, but they got power.
It's because they go vote.
No, they don't go out. Not like we do. We talk about go voting when we know nothing about the law and talk about holding people's feet to the fire. How could you hold anyone's feet to the fire when you yourself don't know?
That's
the
why
power is in the people. It's not in the politicians. It's in the people. The power was always invested in the people, but according to law, once again, this is a law dictionary, regular law dictionary. There's a difference between persons and people. Blacks were not part of we the people.
No,
they have no say so.
Of us at all.
So when we talk about we're politicians, that's why I don't get hyped when people say I'm a politician, I'm a this and I'm that. You have no power. You are powerless.
Hold on.
We are powerless because once you understand who you truly are, you can start making the changes. You can bring up the Constitution. You can bring up an ordinance of regulations and a statute. Those things are not laws. They're ordinances and regulations. They're not even bills. Go to the law. Go to any law library. I done been in Harvard. I done been in Howard. I done been in Harrison. I done been in City Hall. I done been in Jenkins. I go live in Canada Law Library. And I'm pulling out the laws in there. I'm in Canada looking at a human rights law book in Canada, and I'm like, why we don't have this book in Philly or in New York?
Because that's where they hide our information.
Okay, so now what happens? What politician is coming to our people, telling our people, you know it's a state constitution out here, right? You know it's a U.S. Constitution. You know the difference between the state and the U.S. Constitution. We're not doing those things. We're not doing them things.
But that's the purpose.
No,
if we don't ever get there, if we don't ever decide that this is what we're going to do, then it's not going to happen. And if we keep having the attitude of it's not going to change because of us, then it's not going to happen. And the issue is, and we're not educated. That's why I'm on this show. I don't like the fact that when I go to my people door and I'm knocking on their door canvassing for a candidate, and they're like, well, my vote doesn't count. You crazy to believe that. If you believe that, that's fine. No problem. But give me substance behind it, okay? The proper point is that you do have a say-so. And if you're not making yourself known, you go to McDonald's, they don't know your order when you walk in the door. They don't know you. You have to give them your order. So if you ain't never went and voted, then how are they supposed to know? You are not a substance. You are not something important to them because you are not making yourself present. That's the biggest issue that we have. Now, of course, these were not rules for us. Not at all. They did not care about us. None of this was meant for us. And in the small amount of time that they've had their foot on our neck, look what we've done. Especially, I'm going to take heed, black women. We are number one in education. We are number one in new business. We are number one in black business. We are number one in doctoring, okay? Striving and been through everything, okay? Through the dust. All right, and we still doing it. The purpose of the matter is when we educate ourselves and then decide that we go spin with ourselves, work within ourselves. If you see that this is happening in the Asian community, the Hispanic community, in the white community, they don't come and spend their money at your place, but we sure go take our money over there. We sure go over there and go spend that money.
That's a very different subject than the than the voting thing.
It's all connected.
It's intertwined, but they're still separate entities.
Okay.
Yep.
Because you cannot vote and yet go to black businesses.
Yes.
But see, I vote. I've been voting since I was 18, and there is a reason that I do it. There are times when I go in there and I don't mark a box.
I hear you.
But I walk into that booth.
Yes.
Because it is the thing that so many people died to give me that right. So I feel obligated. However, I do understand when people say I don't vote. I always try to convince people, just walk in the booth. That's what I do. But I understand why you don't. Because we have been beat down so much that you just don't feel that you count.
That you count.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to change. That has to change. It's like there's so many things that you're touching on right now that really get under my skin. You have to remember that quickly on Vegas. Vegas, black people owned the Strip.
Yes, we did.
And they got kicked out.
Yes.
Because when Benny Siegel came in and he wanted it, so we got moved out again.
Right.
You have to remember this. And most people don't understand the history of Las Vegas. But there's another thing that you brought up also. It's like black folks. If I hire you as a plumber and you're black and you walk in and you screw my stuff up, black people immediately will say, "I'm not hiring no more black people."
Yes, they would.
But you will go out and find that plumber that it belongs to the Klan, and he can screw things up, and you don't say, "I'm not hiring no more white people."
Right. I'm not. Don't yoke him.
Yeah. But what I always say is just if that person screws it up, I'm not hiring him.
Right.
I'm going. See, I'm a hood baby.
I hear you.
When I hang out, Sabir knows. I'm dead up in the hood.
In the hood.
That's where I am all the time.
Right.
I'm giving those Hollywood dollars to my people as much as possible.
I hear that.
I'm not playing that game. You can't fool me.
Right.
A lot of times people come up with these games all the time.
Yeah.
And I appreciate a new con. At least be a new con.
You said a new one.
Something new.
Somebody ain't seen before.
Good God Almighty. Be creative about yourself. But I've been there. I've seen all of this.
Right.
And I am tired of it. I'm too old, too tired.
Exactly.
And it's one of the things about this last vote. I could not vote for that Hillary Clinton woman.
I hear you.
I could not vote for her. I voted for Jill Stein because I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not voting for the lesser of two evils anymore. I'm too old. I'm too tired.
What did Malcolm say though?
And your own Democratic Party. I just wrote a Facebook page about this. Your own Democratic Party is worthless to me. They have no balls.
They don't care nothing about us, and
They
they're
don't
using
care.
us for our vote.
They're using us for our vote, and they're not fighting for anything. They could, I don't mean to.
No. I want you to go in because I got a couple of things on what you're saying.
There's this thing about this judgeship. When Obama wanted to nominate his judge, there was a window of opportunity for the Democrats to say, to hell with the Republicans, you don't want this, we're just going to put them in. There was a window before the new Republicans were sworn in. There was just that sliver. The Republicans would have done it.
They would have.
But the Democrats don't have the guts to do those things. So I'm so angry with these people, I don't know what to do with myself.
So what you saying that, let me go in on a couple of different things that you said. One thing that you said about the Democratic Party and the way the lesser evil vote, okay? That's what I mean by us getting in at the beginning of the thing and being able to make sure that we're putting in who we need to. Someone that's actually going to represent us, someone we actually care about. And as a mass of people, if we decided that, okay, you know what, next election's coming up, we got 4 years to be able to figure out exactly who we want to put in place. We're going to comb through our communities to find the right person, put them in there, and put them in the running, and then allow them, and then also fund them. That's a big thing. Help them get to that next level so they can actually represent us in a way that we need them, then that's the difference, okay? We should never be picking a candidate just because of them being in a certain party. That's the biggest issue I have, is that our people believe, especially our older Christian community, believe that we should just be picking Democrats and just running with them. And that's not right. Not at all, because what happens is they think that they're inheriting our vote, and then they don't do nothing for us, and then they just think they go, that's what happened with Hillary, thought that she was going to get certain places, so she ain't even go there. She didn't even run there.
I'm talking about hot sauce in her pocketbook. Give me a break.
Right, and saying crazy stuff like CP Tom and all the additional stuff, and thought that we was going to sit there and vote for you. Forget you.
And you think I have forgotten the fact that you have put more black people, put more black people in jail than any president in history. In history, and you think I'm gonna forget? You think I'm gonna forget that you said that black children black male are super predators? I was once one of those young black men, and you called me a super predator. So, lady, get the hell up out of here.
Exactly, and that's why we cannot keep allowing just certain people just to be like, okay, this is the class that we're in. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that we have only these people talking, only these people around. We're not gonna do that. So another thing that I had that goes on here in Vegas is that we got the football team, we got the hockey team, we got the WNBA team came. You know what I'm saying? The marijuana situation came. Vegas has always been a entertainment city, and we've always been booming. We've always been in the top of growing cities. But now there is economic super gain here in this city for people to really come here, start a business, start a whatever you want to do, religion, whatever you want to do here. Literally, you can come here and be able to get a following. Now, we were number 2 on the list for about 5 years for foreclosures. And conversation got so good, I forgot all about these questions. It's all good. I need you to be able to talk to me anyway. I'm gonna say this one point, okay? Yes, now the housing situation is booming. If you come here and you grab a house, by the end of next year, your house gonna be double what you paid for it. So, along with saying that, I need you to please tell us about your travel. Please tell us about your teachings, what you're doing, where are you, how can they find you, what are you pushing as for what do you believe that people are supposed to be paying attention to?
Basic civics. But let me clear something up with the voting thing, all right?
Go ahead.
The reason why I said that about the voting, most politicians, when they get in there, they pimp our people for votes.
Yeah.
But when they get in there, they switch it up. It's just what it is. I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I didn't see Seth Williams, which was our DA at Philadelphia, talk to all this tough talk before he went in to the office and took bribes. Now he's in jail.
Yeah.
I remember Thomasina times when my son was 4. My son is 20 now. My son was 4 at the time. Right. When I told the judge before she was the president judge in Philadelphia, she told a young brother that moving violations is a criminal act. And I'm sitting in a crowd and I'm like, she's lying. So after I got done, I said, why would you tell that young brother that's a crime? That's not a crime. So what happened, she said, it's not about who you know, it's about how much money you bring in. She took bribes. She's in jail now. You see what I'm saying? So they switch up. I can go to law school if I choose to. Just give me the test. I can go through all of that, but I will never take your bribes. Because when you have real brothers like this brother, brothers like Eddie Griffin around you, you see what's really going on.
Right.
I've been in a radio game for 16 years. They came to me many different ways to sell out my people. Don't say this. Don't say that. We had politicians on my show, police officers on my show. They were in the studio with me, knowing what I was saying. But when I got off the air, they said, yo, you shouldn't talk about that. How much you want? What? How much I want? I ain't nobody hoe.
Right.
You know, and this is what goes on. So when I'm saying voting, if I was in a position of saying running, I know me. My mouth is too much. I might see anything.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? My mouth is too much. And sometimes people get afraid of that because it's real talk. Nobody wants reality. So when people say voting, oh, we should go vote. Okay, well, then tell me something about the Constitution or the state Constitution. Or did you go to your state legislator's office and ask them for the Constitution of your state, the home rule charter of your city? This is what I bring to people.
Right.
We must know that to empower ourselves.
And see, that he's the one that needs to be running. It really is true. And see, he doesn't feel that way. But the knowledge that he has in those areas is
have to be unapologetic.
Yeah.
And they won't. That's the thing. You say that they're scared of you, and that's the point. That's what we're not getting. We're getting people that they're not scared of and they're able to run over. That's why I have inspiring. That's why I tell people I can't do everything. And I'm like, hey, I can't do that because I'm going to be president one day. And they go try to pull this up and I'm going to have to explain.
You better make sure your backyard is clean.
It's not about that. See, that's the issue. That's the issue. It's not about my backyard being clean. It's about me being able to do the job. And if they gave me the opportunity to be able to do it, I would do it unapologetically.
Yes.
I'm not doing this because of, I didn't have smoked weed in the past. I don't have to do, what does that have to do with the fact of me knowing my people need certain stuff in place?
But they have something
that's
on you. They have something
that's
on
why
you.
We have to pick our person.
But see, also you have to see. Look,
Go ahead.
It was funny because Eddie Griffin said nobody leaves this industry clean, right? So I'm sitting here watching Bill Cosby. Bill is from Philly, where I'm from, Richard Allen Project. I'm not from Richard Allen, but I know where he's from. But they can do something when you were in college and hold that over your head.
For the rest of your life.
No, they will hold it for 10 or 20 years. As soon as you start running, they're going to bring that dirt out on you. Say, remember you was doing such and such? Mm-hmm. You follow me? I'm from the school of Malcolm. I love Malcolm. Mm-hmm. Malcolm said you can't use that as a stumbling block or over my head, something on me for what I did. I was from Philly. I sold drugs. Yeah, you want to know? Yeah, I did the shoot up. Yeah, I did that too. You can't hold that over my head. So that's the difference of being open with people. What we do as so-called blacks, we hold things and hide things. Europeans don't hold and hide. They be like, listen, this is what it is. You still gonna vote for me.
Right.
What we do is hold it in.
This week. Look at it this
Look
week.
at it, exactly.
It's making out better. Our rules and regulations are way different than anybody else's. And, different than, and when I talk about black folks, I talk about black folks. I don't talk about Asians. I don't talk about Latinos. I talk about black folks because of the fact that their rules are different. Because if you look at the cop, there's an Asian cop who killed a black guy in New York City. Killed him. He got convicted. He was convicted. The Asian people got out into the streets and said, we don't think he should go to jail.
Wow.
And he didn't go.
Oh, really?
He got probation. House arrest for a couple of months for killing a black man. But the Asian community got together and said, no, that's not going to happen. We don't feel, because they want to be able to kill us just like the white boy kills us.
Right.
What's the difference? Our rules and regulations are different. I swear, and I tell everybody this all the time, Barack Obama has to be the squeakiest, cleanest dude on this planet.
And the coolest.
Like that, he skated through. Only presidential situation without scandal.
Exactly.
And trust me, they turned over every rock
they
on
try
the
to do
sun.
everything. They like he not American. He an Arab. He this. Okay, so look, I'm so sorry, y'all. This
Yeah, we up
conversation went
against the
on,
clock. Yeah.
and I so appreciate it. It's been a pleasure having both of you here. Y'all, please look up these people. Please give them your social media
Go ahead,
real
Brother
quick,
Hawthorne.
please.
Yeah, you can just find me like Facebook, Hawthorne James. I don't hide my stuff. It's my Instagram is Hawthorne2995, et cetera,
You
et
need a
cetera.
company to make sure they're doing that so people can be able to contact you. Shameless plug. So go ahead.
Real Sabir Bey. It's not B-A-Y, it's B-E-Y. Sabir Bey, S-A-B-I-R-B-E-Y. Real Sabir Bey on IG. Real Sabir Bey on Facebook. Everything is Real Sabir Bey. Even the Google is Sabir Bey. It's simple. Make it plain.
I saw everything that y'all got on my page. So please be able to go and look. Hey, once again, you guys, if you see somebody struggling this week or whatever, put your hand around that person. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you see them striving and for them to keep pushing. I love y'all. Thanks again for coming.
Love y'all too.
And again. Thanks.
Give thanks.
Was that 55 minutes?
Man,
It went real quick, didn't
yeah.
it? I will go real fast, man.
Yeah, because look, I didn't even get to my question.
Not a thing.
It was over.
It goes
was
real
over.
quick.
So, I so appreciate y'all coming and politicking with me. You know, it does.
Yes, that's Big Red.
It got to the point where I didn't even. I threw all this out because the welfare situation here. Okay, we got the other lady coming in. The welfare situation is big to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are dealing in that situation, like I have my degrees and everything else, and still had to be able to take a minimum job to be able to get myself to be able to make sure the bills and stuff were taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And for them to tell me as a taxpayer, oh, we can't give you no money because you was making too much money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on, I've been paying into this society for this amount of time and everything else. You can't help me. So,
It's like Social Security. They wanted you to label it as an entitlement.
Well, you want to do it right here?
Yeah, we'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Right, they think that exactly.
I've been to the best universities in the world. Universities
I saw you
that nobody
at
get.
my university. It was at Southern University.
Yes,
it was. This had to be some years ago.
That was quick. Yes, it was.
Years ago. And you came to.
Somebody said we was not going enough time. That's true. It'll happen. Probably till Tuesday. Hold up. You want to take one?
Yes.
Hold up.
One more.
See what we're trying to pose. She's like,
I gotta give
she's trying to get the left side. She like this. She like this. She trying to get the face.
No, my degrees are.
Your airdrop on?
Bachelor's.
Your airdrop? Or I can text it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, text it. That'd be better. Damn, your camera. What kind of phone is that? That's an iPhone?
What's your phone number?
Oh, let me do it. I'm on here live. We get unwanted phone calls and.
Because I have education in class, I think that I won't get with you to interrupt you real quick.
Would you interested in coming in and talk about entertainment? I know what your schedule's like on Friday.
This coming Friday? I'll be here Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be here Friday.
Let me get a contact for you. It'll be Friday here at 10.
At 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be here till probably Tuesday or Wednesday.
I'm coming back upstairs.
Number, email.
Yo, hold. Let me get out. I don't want nobody with Hawthorne's number. No, I'm just standing because we be live now.
Hawthorne James, y'all be with.
Okay, come on.
How long you in town?
Probably Tuesday or Wednesday. No, I don't want. He was giving his number. I didn't want nobody on Facebook to get his number. Too short. Yeah, I got you. All right.
I'm gonna put this bag in here and then.
This is dope right here. This is kind of cool.
Let me find these pictures. That is dope.
So what else they doing here?
This is a building of all type of different things. It's somewhat like the container park. Have y'all been across the street to the container park?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that they have like those startup businesses and things like this. This used to be basically an old rundown building Basically, it turned into almost like a crack house and like
Damn.
redid the whole entire building.
It's not far from.
Look, it
Right.
remind me of the Carter, Jack.
They rebuilt it, re-gutted it, and everything else to be able to start.
Yes, go to
brand new
Sabir Bey's
business,
Cash
small
App too,
business
y'all.
there. So my sister in on it, and she's doing her thing. I'm trying to find.
Hey, everybody's saying that was too short, boy.
Yeah,
That was like,
it went so fast.
but it always does.
It always does. That's
So this is my this is the day
Oh.
he picked his puppy. If you notice his head down there, they picked each other.
Uh-huh.
Where's he at today? Where's my,
My
man?
baby,
Yeah,
he's with my auntie,
Oh.
my co-host, Tupac.
that boy's.
And then let me go to
Hold on, Spirit.
I know. It's all good. I'm holding the door, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
What? She was sending some naked pictures out, man. Yeah, she was.
Oh yeah.
and see he's such a sweet soul. This Ty just passed away, older pepper. That's how this is almost 2 years ago, so he's even bigger than this. So then
How old is he now?
he is now 5. They both 5. My brother, my son, and his baby. So let me go to my dad's, my brother's page, so you can see, because they're about to breed another. They're about to do a whole nother one right now.
You said Akita.
Yeah.
I never had them. You know what's funny? When I first moved.
He sits this tall. with
Stop
his butt
playing.
on-
Are you serious?
Yeah, he sits this tall with his butt on the ground. When he stands up, he can put his paws on my shoulders. He's humongous.
That's crazy.
Let me go to
Yo, I moved. Well, we have pit bulls and German shepherds on the East Coast, right? So I moved to LA. I tell everybody the story. I took a picture and sent it back, put it up on it was MySpace at the time. So everybody said, "Nigga, what you doing with that? It was a teacup, Chihuahua." They said, "Nigga, you got sandals on with a teacup, boy. If you don't get your mother, yo." I went back to New York. I'm walking in Harlem. They said, "Dude, come on, man, you're not doing that."
Who breeds him? And he used to
Wow,
have
that's
our
dope.
own Hair Unlimited.
Why you laughing? I'm being real. That's what happened. Chihuahua, teacup. I didn't know what a teacup was.
Stand up dogs, man. Small dogs, I can't get one. Oh yeah, that's a black one.
Oh
That's
wow.
Ganji. Let me see if I can find another picture of Ganji. That's the blood line. So literally,
Hi, excuse me.
hey,
Hi, how you
she's in
doing?
there.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Yeah, my bad. But cause my phone won't work in the dang elevator. But
Yeah, it's a teacup. It's a teacup.
you gonna get your teacup.
No, I'm not getting no more teacups. I didn't know what a teacup was. But then they told me.
This is a loyal dog. This is their background is Asian Empire. Like they
Japanese.
right. They taught them to be very protective,
Uh-huh.
and then they are rule followers. So if you tell them, like, when I'm walking and I'm walking on the street, this dog gets on the other side of me to make sure that I'm not on the street. If if you walk up to my son, he gets in between y'all. It's just what he does, and he's like, no, you can't. Don't touch him.
I was on my way here today in the apartment complex, and there was this
Wow.
white dog, pit, pretty much pit, and then there's this little smaller dog. This big tall black girl had this little smaller dog, and so the two dogs met. Right, this white girl had the big dog. And she was saying, "Oh yeah, that's so friendly, blah blah blah," and they were laughing and joking with each other. I got down to my car. That dog had that little black dog.
What? Oh, pit bulls ain't no joke. We have my brother breeds pit bulls. Huh?
Yes.
He just killed people.
Really?
Yes.
Because
I didn't-
they so much they have a mass body of like a
Wow.
Rottweiler. But then they got all that fur on them like a child. They can't get on them. Plus all that on the fact
Wow,
they
I didn't
strong.
know that.
Their mouths is ridiculous. Like
I didn't know, cause my brother he breeds pit bulls.
I don't like pits. I just don't.
Yeah.
He breeds pits.
Their minds switch. So it's like if something ends up happening to them, somebody approaches them the wrong way, their attention span switches very quick. But even with Akitas, they told me, they was like,
You
hey, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them.
You have to be firm with them.
Right,
They're not to be played with.
Right. Now I'm going to
What's up, Rashidi?
My son, as small as he is, he maintains him. And they be like, I cannot believe he's standing there holding. He'll hold my dog by the neck like this. He's like, no, go ahead, like this. And then he will stand there with Christian. But if someone approaches Christian and Christian is telling him, no, he's going to wild out.
Oh, man. It's early, man. Let me put my headphones in. Did y'all enjoy that little quick show? So, they had a huddle in the room for a minute. They had a huddle in the room. I'm gonna talk to Hawthorne James about this. He said, "Oh, we gotta be careful about what they're gonna talk about." Alright, I'll hit you up. All right.
Thank y'all.
Yes, I see you. Call.
Okay,
So, hold up. Hey, Hawthorne, they said we should have went longer. Look, hold up. So, they had a little huddle in the room. At first, they was like, shh.
Who did?
You see, that's why she pulled out the room. She said, she talked to her. That's why she came out and said, no religion. I said, what do you think, because of my name, you think I'm going to beat up religion? I don't care about your religion, because I was waiting for that subject to come.
Oh, I know why she pulled her out.
Huh?
I knew why she pulled her out. Because it's what you were saying.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But that's why when she went in the room and she said, I was like, okay, she saw my videos, right? So I said, all right, I'm gonna just shut up and let you talk, and then when she say something, I'm gonna come. But then she got upset. I don't know if you peeped it, but she said, am I invisible or something? I said, don't tell me you're a politician, I ain't gonna come at you. She said, oh, I'm a politician. Really?
I know, I heard her say it.
I said, really?
Good for you.
Yeah, no, in my head, I said, really? Now I'm gonna go get you. So she kept saying, I'm invisible. Am I invisible? Am I invisible? No, don't invite me on a show and expect. And I was trying to be cool. That's why I let you just go. I said, let him just soften it up for a minute, because I knew I could go hard, and I told her that.
I had gazed myself.
Yeah,
I
man.
had to watch my tongue and all that.
And that's what I did. I had to watch my tongue. I was like, damn, dude, this is. But you see, but huh?
Fuck these people. I don't give a fuck.
No, but she said her sister at the end, she said it. She said, oh, wait a minute. Like, because that needs to be brought up. That stuff, all this whole playing back and forth and, yo, let's go vote to make the change. No, hold these people feet accountable, man. Hold them accountable for what they do. Everybody on here wanted me to go ham. I said, no, I ain't gonna go ham. That means I would never come back.
Exactly.
You know, Sabir would never be back on them shows again once I did that. Not gonna happen.
Where you going?
I'm going near the SLS. It's a stone store over there. I gotta go get
What store?
a mineral store. I don't know if you ever been there before. Mineral store. Doing the sand dunes, wow, in Manhattan Beach, wow. Listen, my man doing the sand dunes in LA. You ever see that? The sand dunes? Oh, it's hell, dude. It's hell up there. Well, I'm going to go get me another piece of motorbike. That's what I'm going to do. I'm getting me a motorbike. Tasha. My man doing the sand dunes. Long Beach, Manhattan bike. Damn, boy, you getting it in, ain't you? Yeah, he told my man, he said, you was cool. Yeah, I was trying to be cool. Because, boy, she started to get me heated. I said, I'm going to be cool, calm, and collected. I ain't going to say nothing.
No sweat.
See, this is the thing. People want you to go ham on something. Listen, people, you will never be back on somebody's show again after that.
No, you can get your point across.
You can get your, I got my point across. That's why I said what I said about the people and the whole example of the politicians that's in Philly. Like, they locked them up because you took the bribes. You took, you know.
And knowing that they're looking at you extra hard. How stupid must you be?
They're going to look at you extra hard. You know what I mean?
Now, how stupid must you be if you do some stupid shit, knowing that they don't want you anyway? It's like all the mayors in Detroit. It's like the mayor of New Orleans. They're all in jail.
All of them in jail.
And they don't have to be. You can make money, but do it legally. Good God Almighty.
But they offer these cats. They be like, how much you want? How much you want?
I don't want nothing from your ass. I'm here to do a job. And get the fucking money out of my face. Kiss my motherfucking ass because I'm here for my people. Fuck you and your money. I never had no money and I'm able to survive, and sooner or later you're gonna die any motherfucking way. So
Pretty
what
much.
difference does it make if you become a billionaire? Fucking every billionaire, Steve Jobs is dead.
Dead. That couldn't save him.
Couldn't save his ass. So how much money do you need? Shit, get the fuck up out of here, people.
Man.
Ignorance is a motherfucker, man.
And that's what I was trying to get to her. And I can feel, though, she thought I was going to attack her. I wasn't attacking her. It was just like, don't come to me, tell me. And that's the thing. When that came up, I'm a politician. What the mother? You think I didn't know you? I researched you. I researched her before I even went to the show, that I knew she was into some type of politics. Because when I sat in here last week, she had a politician sitting there.
And politicians don't bother me. Just that 99% of them are worthless.
Yep.
Because they get in there and become corrupted. They allow the system to corrupt them. It's very few that can actually go in there for a reason and stay true to that reason.
Yep.
And that's what we need. We don't need these other people. I mean, quiet as it's kept, fucking Trump is true to who he is.
He is true to his shit.
He don't give a fuck.
He don't give up.
He said this is what I'm going to do, and that's what he's doing.
He got the money, and he's saying I'm in that position to do what the hell I want to do.
He's a lying piece of crap.
Yeah.
But he ain't changed for nobody.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna change him.
Tasha said Hawthorne sounds like me because he curses so much. Because you cursing Hawthorne, he cursing.
Oh, you on that?
Yeah, he curses so
shit.
much. She said he sound like me. He cursed so much.
And when I'm on that radio, I have to bite my tongue.
I bit my tongue. You ain't see me sitting there.
Which way am I going?
You can go straight down. You can go this way up to what's the boulevard?
Oh,
Las
shit.
Vegas. No, wrong way. You can go to Las Vegas Boulevard. You can go up and then go down. No, but I was biting. You can go straight and then make a right. I was biting my tongue. I'm sitting there in my head like, I want to go ham on this girl. I want to go ham, but I can't. She just texted me and said thanks. She just texted me, Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Somebody said is she a politician? She ain't sharp. She really wasn't sharp. Cause it's a total different ball game out here, man. This game is real. Tasha said I would have went off. Well, Tasha, I gotta go. Call me when you free. I'm getting off of here. Gotta go get me another piece of moldavite. I have to have my piece on my neck, man. My moldavite keeps me sane.